Here we go, chapter 21 of Core Justice, book number 1 in the Core Justice series. As you can see, I had to put a little cream on myself after getting some poison ivy. But just thought I might mention that since you guys might be looking at me funny. Again, chapter 21, Camp Spartan, Arrington, Tennessee. Cal, Andy, and Brian arrived back at Camp Spartan to find Neil helping himself to liquor in Cal's suite. On the bar, he'd arrayed an assortment of laptops, high-tech headphones, and speakers, and half-eaten room service. As Cal walked in the door, he saw Neil listening intently into one side of the set of headphones perched on his head. His concentration was so deep that he didn't even acknowledge the trio's entrance. Neil remained this way for another minute. Then his eyes shot open, and he ran his fingers deftly over the keyboard, apparently making notes from what he'd just listened to. "Well?" Cal asked. "Hold on a second," Neil said in a flat tone, typing furiously. Cal walked around the bar and pulled a beer out of the fridge. He motioned to the other two with the beer, and both nodded. He pulled 2 more bottles out of the fridge, expertly popped off the tops on the side of the bar, and brought them around to Andy and Brian. Andy waited patiently with a look of quiet amusement as Neil wrapped up his note-taking. Brian walked to the large bay window and took in the beautiful day. Cal tried to look over Neil's shoulder just for a glimpse of what he was doing, but Neil shooed him away. Finally, Neil finished and swiveled his bar stool around to face the others. "Okay," he said with a sigh. I've got some bad news and good news." Cal was impatient. "Would you just tell us what you found out, damn it?" "Patience is a virtue, my boy. Anyway, the good news first. Your girl, Irene, has not been tipping off Dante West or any of his crew. And the bad news? She's been doing spy work for that reporter, Bellinger." "What?" "Looks like little innocent Irene is a little short on cash, and this guy Bellinger loves good contacts within the ranks of hotel and condo concierge," Neil said. "They've usually got the most access, so he targets them pretty heavily." "What was she rooting around my place for?" "Any little tidbits he could use to write a story. Your Navy Cross citation to start. He wanted her to see if you were maybe a druggie, closet gay, or something like that. Anything to make his story juicier." Cal growled. "I'd love to pay that guy a little visit." Andy shook his head. "You know you can't do that, Cal. It'd just make things worse. Besides, you said that from the surveillance video you watched, she couldn't find anything. It still pisses me off." "I know, but listen to this." Neil's gestures became more animated. "So, it looks like this Bellinger guy is desperate for intel. By the tone of his voice over the phone, it's pretty obvious he's grasping at straws. Who knows, maybe he'll even give up soon." "I doubt it," Cal said. "He'll keep digging until he finds something. I'll just have to be careful about being seen in public doing something stupid." Brian couldn't resist. "When you say stupid, do you mean like hunting down a fugitive and leaving him hogtied for the cops stupid?" "Yeah, I guess we just need to make sure we don't get caught." Brian groaned. "You can say that again." It was obvious Brian still wasn't convinced the operation could be pulled off without the authorities or this reporter finding out. He took a pull from his beer. Cal could see the apparent discomfort on Brian's face. "Have a little faith, Doc. You haven't seen any of us in action yet. I think you may be pleasantly surprised." "That's what I'm afraid of," Brian said wryly. "Actually enjoying this shit." The team of 4 spent the next couple hours running through Irene's cell phone logs and recent text, email, and phone conversations. Other than the dialogue with the reporter, she seemed like any other 20-something working girl. Cal yawned as he looked at his watch. "All right, guys, why don't we take a break until tomorrow morning? By then, Top should be back, and we may have a little more insight into the location of our beloved bad guy." "Sounds good to me. I'm beat." Andy stretched and headed for the door. "I'll see you ladies in the morning. Anyone want to join me for a little motivating PT run at the crack of dawn?" Brian perked up the mention of physical activity. "I'll go with you." Cal laughed. "I don't think you know what you're getting into, Doc. Good old Andy is a marathon runner. I remember how he used to take our whole platoon on these god-awful runs. You look at the man and he doesn't look like a runner, but I've never seen anyone beat him in distances over 5 miles. "I think I'll take my chances," Brian said. "I could use a solid ass-kicking after eating all this good food you guys have around here." Andy feigned innocence. "Don't worry, Doc. I'll try to be nice. I'll come get you in the morning." The rest of the team packed up and headed to their respective rooms. Cal took a minute to gaze out the window and imagine what the next day would hold. "We've got to find that guy, damn it." And with that, he walked to the master bedroom and fell into a fitful sleep. All right, pretty short, to the point chapter. Let's move on to chapter 22.